The standard path to entrepreneurship is a well-worn template. You find a market gap, draft a rigid 20-page business plan, and prepare to work 80 hours a week while hoarding every scrap of your equity. This playbook is a system that demands frantic effort for diminishing returns. It is designed to keep you running in place. These rules exist because of an industrial education system that prioritizes compliance. Schools were built to manufacture employees who follow instructions, not founders who prioritize personal and financial freedom. Following this traditional play-it-safe advice creates a fragile foundation. It frequently leads to founder burnout, toxic company dynamics, and eventual collapse. Building a scalable business requires a total unlearning of these standards. You have to replace conventional wisdom with a counterintuitive psychological strategy. To survive the real life cycle of a company, founders must replace rigid planning with purpose-driven adaptability. The first phase is inception. Start by ignoring the pressure to have an original idea. Success usually comes from identifying a specific problem that affects you, or a personal purpose you are willing to solve for years. Avoid the trap of a static business plan. It locks you into a path before you have real-world data on how the market will react to your service. Use a mind map instead. It costs nothing to create and functions as a dynamic alternative that keeps your options open. This is a mind map. Place your core purpose in the center, branching outward to products, networks, and revenue streams. This structure allows instant pivoting. If a revenue stream fails, break that connection and reroute to a new opportunity without compromising the core business. As the map grows, you'll see where you need help. Look for a co-founder who possesses the operational skills you lack, but who shares an identical moral code. Give that partner 50% of the equity. Control is not determined by an equity percentage. It is managed through your shareholder agreement. Splitting the value equally builds the trust required for a long-term partnership. Starting with a fluid mind map and a morally aligned partnership prevents the early friction that destroys most startups. Phase 2 is market entry. At this stage, discard the high-pressure pitch and focus on relationship-first psychology. Closing a deal requires 3 criteria: a genuine client need, a mutual liking between both parties, and relentless long-term follow-up. To stand out, apply the staircase method. Use an unorthodox, highly visible stunt to grab attention, and then evolve that attention into a broader story about your company. When seeking PR for these stunts, avoid generic press releases. Journalists are often under-resourced, so you must do the writing for them. This comparison shows the difference. Instead of a boring corporate announcement, provide a pre-packaged article with a bold headline and high-resolution photos ready for publication. Market entry relies on a specific strategic advantage: delayed gratification. The most successful companies often delay monetization. They over-deliver free value to their audience for as long as possible, building unshakable brand loyalty before they ever attempt to extract profit. Treating market entry as an exercise in long-term value creation creates an unassailable economic moat that competitors cannot replicate. Phase 3 is scaling. Many founders believe they just need to work harder to get lucky, but that is rarely the case. Luck behaves like a probability distribution. By leaning into fear and increasing your exposure to risk, you create more surface area for opportunities to land, making success a statistical likelihood rather than a random accident. Scaling also requires managing talent density, specifically by understanding the 7 and 8 rule. This chart categorizes performance. Red bars are failing employees. Green are elite performers. The danger is the yellow section, employees who are just good enough. Keep mediocre talent and they multiply, pushing top performers out who refuse to work in cultures lacking excellence. To grow, you must confront the toxic drain of mediocrity. Protecting your culture is a mandatory requirement for long-term expansion. When you need capital for this growth, try a different approach. Don't pitch investors for cash. Ask them for advice. This triggers their psychological desire to provide value and naturally leads to investment. Successful scaling requires ruthlessly protecting your talent density and using human psychology to attract high-quality capital. The final stage of the business lifecycle, the exit, reveals a counterintuitive reality. This mindset usually degrades the brand's true long-term value. If you build a purpose-driven business you love and never want to leave, you inadvertently create the exact type of high-value asset the market is most desperate to buy. Executing this anti-traditional life cycle results in a lucrative exit and the absolute personal and financial freedom that traditional models rarely deliver.